people.
So if you're tuning in, it's Hal Sparks we're talking to, who's going to be at a Helium Comedy Club. Hal, there's a book called Ready Player One. I don't know if you've read this or not. It is one of the most fun books I've ever read, and it has to deal with virtual reality and this. It's Willy Wonka meets the Matrix, basically.
Right,
is
sure.
what it is. It's amazing. But they have these hap suits that you can wear and haptic gloves and the treadmill, and basically you can live in this virtual reality world, and all this stuff is going to be coming true.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it already is.
Yeah. It just hasn't been. You're
going to wake up to the fact that you created this body that you're in, and this is just a sim character that you're playing. And the death is actually you pulling your mask off in some sort of weird, just you're like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back as an insurance salesman. That was weird. I'm going to let's plot this out. I'm going to get divorced when I'm 43 and have a midlife crisis at 47, and I want to do this, and I want to start playing baseball and get hit in the head and lose all feeling in my left arm so I can grow it back. And it gets really complicated after a while. It's like the fetishes.
Yeah.
It literally, you become we do live, because science actually discovered that we live in a virtual environment last year. Definitively, on a mathematical level, this universe is a fabrication. That was the definitive thing from the scientific community last year. They just went, we've done all the math, and this is printed. Somebody is projecting this universe into existence. We don't know who it is, but we think it's us, and it's done on this kind of multi-access thing for our, like it's in a virtual environment, and that was because there was particleization at the edge of the universe in all these deep space pictures that they were taking.
Right.
And since they're solid light pictures, there's no reason for particleization except for it's a screen of sorts, and
it's a big Truman show.
They had this this gathering of scientists in Switzerland, where they all gathered to try and destroy the universe with a hadron collider.
Right.
Hey, let's kick this thing up a notch, and what happens if we throw a monkey wrench in the middle of it? Maybe we can create a black hole. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, dumb. But they were all sitting around going, why is there particleization in these multi-billion-dollar pictures that we're getting? And there were two guys in the back, literally just scribbling on paper like maniacs. And they went, the only real reason is that we live in a hologram. And everybody there just went totally deadly silent. And because they were all doing the math in their heads, because that's the kind of people they are. And they went, they're right. And that's it. That was it. They decided last year we all live in a hologram. They're talking about they've got this drug that will allow somebody, I don't know if you probably read about it.
Prison in your mind.
Yeah, for 100 years.
You
can actually get multiple life sentences and live them out in 10 years. So in 10 years, you'll wake up completely insane and be released into the populace.
There was an episode.
He served 400 years of time, so he can go back into the populace.
Do you remember that Deep Space Nine episode with Chief O'Brien?
Yes.
In fact, in his perceived thing, he killed a dude.
Yes.
And so he was
feels guilty
a mental wreck.
Right. He feels guilty about something that never actually happened. Which is the psychological recurring damage occurring in recurrent lifetimes if you believe in reincarnation, if this ends up being a virtual reality that we live in. So you go back and you do these fake lifetimes where you learn all these things, but you're so emotionally affected by them you actually think that you did it. And here's the thing, and this kind of goes to the whole virtual thing.
Right.
What if, at some point they're talking about recording all the memories of a human being.
Right.
Their whole life. And maybe this isn't a virtual thing that you are living out that you plan like a video game. But what if you're just a person on a deep space mission right now in a tube like Ripley in Alien, and it takes you 100 years to get there, and during that lifetime, the many lifetimes you're doing that, you're playing, instead of movies, the entire recorded life of a human being, and you experience it so that you don't go nuts traveling through the pool.
It keeps your mind engaged.
So that you don't fade. So you come back as a short, pudgy diamond dealer, and who lives in upstate New York, and then the next time you're going to be an Egyptian car salesman who is trying to keep his business alive during a revolution. And
that's wild.
Or it could be this.
So that means that our whole solar system could be like one tiny atom in the fingernail of some other giant being. That means that one tiny atom in my fingernail could be
one little tiny universe.
Pot from you.
Again, having never smoked pot or done LSD, yes, I agree with that in concept.